Hi, and welcome to the Owatonna Today Show. I'm Shelley White. Thanks so much for joining us right here on Friday. You know, we wouldn't be here without those people, those businesses, organizations that had said, hey, we like what you're doing and we'd like to support it. So we'd like to thank them right now. We're going to start off with our premier supporters. They are the City of Owatonna, Express Employment Professionals, and Owatonna Public Utilities, as well as United Way of Steele County. Thank you to them. Also, thank you to our primary supporters. They are Amy Swain Hearing Centers and Little Theater of Owatonna. And of course, there are our interlude supporters. They are Abraham Consulting Technologies, Bremer Bank, Brenda Bednar Mortgage Office, Glenn Meager and Tim Thomas of the Brick Meager Funeral Home and Medford Funeral Home, Brookdale Senior Living in Clarebridge and Sterling House, Carlson Branson and Company CPA, ERA Gillespie Real Estate, Fairview Animal Medical Center, Horizon Eye Care Professionals, Clancher and Son Landscaping and Concrete, Owatonna Business Incubator, Owatonna Foundation, Profinium Financial, R&K Electric, Snap Fitness, Steele County Historical Society, Steele County Transitional Housing, the Third Hand Incorporated Video Protections, and TPS Insurance. Thank you to each and every one of those businesses and organizations. And you know what? We'd like you to thank them too. So go in, say, hey, we saw you on the Owatonna Today Show. You can also thank them by giving them your business. So we really do appreciate them and you for watching right here on the Owatonna Today Show. Today's show, we're going to be talking with Amy Swain, and every time she comes in, she teaches me new things about the hearing world. So we're going to be talking a little bit more about that. Also, we've got the SHOC Red Ribbon Week is coming up in a little bit. So we're going to talk to a student as well as a faculty member about what that is and how you can help support it. So we'll be right back. Please stay with us.
Hi, I'm Jody Voisin with the staff at Fairview Animal Medical Center, your other family doctor. Fairview Animal Medical Center is a proud supporter of the Owatonna Today Show.
When using a fire extinguisher, we suggest using the pass system. Pull the pin at the top of the extinguisher that keeps the handle from being accidentally pressed. Aim the nozzle toward the base of the fire. Squeeze the handle to discharge the extinguisher. If you release the handle, the discharge will stop. Sweep the nozzle back and forth at the base of the fire. After the fire appears to be out, watch it carefully since it may reignite. If you have the slightest doubt about whether or not to fight the fire, get out and close the door behind you. This has been a safety message from the Owatonna Fire Department.
Hi, my name is Dave Olson and I'm with R&K Electric, where we provide power to the people. We're proud supporters of the Owatonna Today Show.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Olson of Mayo Clinic Health System in Owatonna. We know that good health goes beyond having a quality clinic and hospital in our community. That's why United Way is convening community partners to reduce obesity, diabetes, and heart disease in Steele County. At the same time, United Way is funding programs that increase access to health and dental care right now. We're proud to be a partner of the United Way Community Campaign Leadership Team, and we encourage you to join us by giving a gift this year.
And we're back to the Owatonna Today Show. In studio with me is Amy Swain. Hello.
Hello again.
How does it feel to have your name on a business, Amy Swain Hearing Centers?
You know, I never really thought about that. I do remember when I opened up my business that I had to think of a name, and I knew a lot of people already knew me because I had already been working in the field for a long time, so I guess I put that on there, and then every once in a while I think, well, gee, you know, nobody's ever going to buy my practice because they don't want to work at Amy Swain Hearing Centers if they're not Amy Swain.
I don't know, maybe, I don't know. There's a lot of people who buy restaurants and they don't have that name there.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You've got a good reputation, so maybe.
Well, and I did, at one point, I did a hearing test on a client of mine. Mm-hmm. And he had a friend that had come into my office, so a couple weeks before that. And after we did the hearing test, I started to talk about hearing aids because the gentleman needed some hearing aids. And he goes, well, you know, I'm kind of more interested in the brand that my friend has. And I said, well, what brand is that? And he goes, well, it was the Amy Swain hearing aid. And I said, no, I'm Amy Swain, and I sell many brands of hearing aids. It's like, you know, I'm not a brand name, not yet.
Well, I think that's the next step. I think that's the next step is to have you develop your own hearing aids and kind of maybe make pretty and sparkly and who knows.
I can never top what's coming out these days.
Isn't it amazing? Well, that's what we're here to talk about a little bit today.
Yeah.
Is you've got some amazing products to make people's lives so much better. And I it's so funny. People will go get glasses, easy, just at a drop of a hat. But for some reason, there's some sort of pride issue with people with hearing, especially if they're a little bit younger. What do you think that is?
I don't know, but that's getting better.
Good.
I have, particularly in Owatonna here, I have a lot of clients that are more about my age, and it surprises me. And I have several that are a little younger than me. So people are getting into the idea that I want to be able to hear, I need to go to meetings, I want to hear my iPod when I go to work out. There's all kinds of things that people just are starting to say, no, I'm not going to put up with not being able to hear. What I don't think people understand is that when you have a hearing loss, it's actually more visible than the hearing aids because you're looking at them, you're sitting closer, you're saying what, that kind of thing, or you're answering wrong, so you sound a little silly because you didn't hear it right.
Yeah.
And hearing aids are so discreet and small now.
Yeah.
Why would you do that to yourself?
Yeah. Yeah, so you're actually kind of protecting your pride a little by getting the hearing aid.
I would think so,
Yeah.
but call me silly.
Well, so let's talk about, you brought with you some, I want to talk about, if it's okay, the thing around your neck.
Yes.
This beautiful accessory that she has. It's a pendant?
Yeah, no.
No, it's actually part of a hearing aid, isn't it?
It's part of a hearing aid, and technically it's not available until November, but I've got a sneak peek of a bunch of it, so I was even given some to fit on people already. But it works with a very small hearing aid. If we can see all of that, it looks like you can see it all there. It works with a very small hearing aid, and you can wear this under your clothing, so even men or whatever, you can wear it under a big bulky sweater and it'll still work. You can use it to answer your cell phone.
So if it rings, you just hit the button, and then you hear it through your hearing aid.
And you hear hear it through your hearing aids. You got it. Now the other thing is with an Android or a iPhone, any kind of smartphone, there's an app on there with the top of the line units. What you can use this gadget for is, say you're out to dinner with a group of people, and I hear this constantly where there's 6, 7 people at the table, and they'll say, I couldn't hear this person over here, or I couldn't hear this person over there, or that kind of thing. On your cell phone, you can decide with this new product that's coming out, there's actually 4 microphones on each hearing aid, which is amazing because they're doubling it. There used to be just 2. First it was 1 on each side, then it was 2 on each side.
So there's 4 on each side.
4
So you have a
on
total of
each
8.
side, yes.
Wow.
8 microphones working for you. And so what you can do is just, push on an app on your phone, and you can decide, I want to hear over here better than what's over here. I want to hear over here better than what's over there. So if you're stuck at the end of the table and you're having to sit sideways, you can decide where you're going to pick up the voices best, where you're going to reduce the most noise. The demonstration of it, they had us in a room and they were showing this to us at a meeting I went to. It was amazing. So that's what's going to be available in November. And I'm really excited to try that app on there, being able to focus that specifically.
Is the reason why we're able to have so many more is because technology is getting smaller?
Yeah, technology is
of it?
getting smaller and smarter. We used to have, at the very beginning, just a single channel instrument that just gave you a response of, a steep response or a flat response depending on your hearing loss. And now we've got little equalizers in those hearing aids. So if you don't like the sound quality, I can give you more treble, I can give you more bass. Anybody listening to a cheap little radio, you've got that real tinny kind of sound. You can't alter it. And in my car, all I can change is the bass and the treble. But just imagine, you like the sound of your car with just being able to change the bass and treble, but just imagine being able to have your hands at every single pitch, especially if you've lost more hearing in some pitches than others.
Which depends on where you work, what you've been exposed to, because that really can affect those different pitches, can't it?
Absolutely. And these units, the top of the line one has 48 channels of frequency processing, which seems crazy.
It does seem overwhelming, but the nice thing is that the people aren't doing it, the tuning themselves. You're doing that for them.
I'm doing it for them. I make it easy. You come in, you get your hearing aids fit. After that, you come back in a week and you tell me what it sounded like, what you didn't like. Maybe the microwave ding was too loud. I hear that quite frequently because if your ear isn't used to that high frequency sound, it sounds very sharp, almost painful to people. And so I can dampen that down for you. And sometimes people will come in and they'll say, well, I know you probably can't do anything about this, but this just drives me crazy. Well, yeah, I think I can. In fact, I even had a woman bring her dog in and say, when my dog barks, it's just too sharp. And so she brought the dog in. Of course, it took us a little while to get that dog to bark.
Poke.
But she was, come on, bark, bark. But you know, sometimes you gotta personalize these
And
hearing
so what
aids.
happens is when you have the dog bark into an instrument, you saw the levels that were the pitches that the dog was creating, and you were able to dampen those pitches specifically on her hearing aids. Is what basically.
Certainly, you can do
Dumb
stuff
down.
like that. Yes, yes, yes.
Because I know, I'm sure. Yeah, because see, now I can do hearing aids because I know it all. No, there's a lot more technical
Yes.
aspect to it, which is kind of why it's important to go with somebody like yourself who has been in the industry for a long time, who has seen all the different kind of gadgets and knows exactly how to, when you buy a new car, you don't want to go to the guy who's like, well, I don't know what that button does, good luck. You want actually to go to a guy who's like, yeah, no, that button is for this and this button does that, and this is a hidden button you didn't know about. That's
Yeah.
like with you, is that you know these instruments inside and out.
Well, and so many people, what I've heard in the past that are unhappy with hearing aids, they pick up their hearing aid, they wear it out, down the street or whatever, they never come back for an adjustment. And that's really silly because they put up with things, or a lot of times they don't put up things, they take them out and put them in the drawer. But the reality is if you're not happy with the way that instrument sounds, you just need to let me know.
Yeah.
Come in, tell me what you don't like, what you do like. Sometimes during that first 45 days, because it is a Minnesota state law, you can return your instruments. Sometimes during that first 45 days, we switch to a different brand.
Okay.
Whatever it's going to take to make you hear better.
Yeah, and that's the point, is that you want it to be hear better. I think one of the things people might be afraid of is also coming in and you just trying to get them to buy the most expensive thing. But if that's not going to work for them, or if they don't need it,
Right.
well, there's no reason for that.
Well, that decision is always up to the
Yeah.
patient. They need to look at the different price levels and what the different price levels do. They need to examine their own lifestyle. If they tend to be more of a homebody, they're not going to spend as much on a hearing
They
aid.
don't need it.
If they don't want to play with gadgets, they're not going to get that top of the line one. They're going to get a couple below. And it still has that new technology with the 4 microphones even on the step below. So it's just becoming an amazing.
But like you said, for somebody who's in a business setting who really needs to hear specific conversations, and it's done so discreetly on your phone that nobody would even know that that's what you're doing. So it kind of, again, helps that whole pride issue. So if somebody wants to have a meeting with you, or they have hearing aids, or they're thinking about maybe they need to get their dad in to have them adjusted. That's right. What do we do about that?
You give me a call. In Owatonna, it's 507-451-3879. I am having an open house in November to introduce the new product, and my spaces are already about half filled. So if you're wanting an appointment there, just give us a call. Again, that's 451-3879.
Now, can they stop in and find out more information too?
You can
Or is it
sure
usually
stop
pretty busy?
in. Well, yes, it's very busy, but go ahead and stop in. We'll get you an appointment if we don't have time to talk to you then and there.
And you're located over in the Torreys area
Over,
in Owatonna?
yep, the strip mall with Tories in it behind the Taco Bell.
Yeah, good.
Yes.
All right. Thanks so much for your time. Well, thanks for bringing this gadget, and I love your new necklace. It's
My
lovely.
new necklace.
All right, we'll be right back. Please stay with us.
Hi, my name is Dave Efforts with TPS Insurance. We're here to handle all your insurance needs. We are a very proud supporter of the Owatonna Today Show.
I didn't just want another job, I wanted a career, so I expressed myself.
I was new to town and I didn't know where to turn for a job, so I decided to express myself.
I decided to express myself, and they helped find the right career for me.
Express Employment Professionals is in contact with thousands of companies in need of quality employees. Come in now and get the job you deserve.
Express yourself today.
Hi, this is Doug Johnson at the Owatonna Business Incubator, a proud supporter of the Owatonna Today Show. We'd like to welcome you to the incubator. If you're a small business, whether you're existing or a startup, we can help you with office space, manufacturing or warehouse, and free confidential counseling.
Hi, my name is Ryan Gillespie with Bremer Bank Mortgage. By trusting your home loan needs to Bremer Bank, you are guaranteed a personalized, straightforward, and honest experience from application to closing. We look forward to guiding you through your next home purchase or refinance.
The Owatonna Foundation's mission is to support community progress, and the foundation has been doing just that since 1958 in the Owatonna community. By issuing over $11 million in grants, the Owatonna Foundation has helped organizations fulfill their goals in the areas of community, recreation, the arts, and education. Please consider a tax-deductible donation, a memorial, or possibly including the foundation in your estate planning so that together we can continue to make a positive, lasting impact in our community. Preserving the past, building the present, funding the future, that is what your Owatonna Foundation is all about.
And we're back with the Owatonna Today Show. In studio, I have with me Sandy Ogle and Michala White. Did I say your last name right?
You did.
Yay! I make things up. So, so we're here to talk about SHOC and the Red Ribbon Week. So first of all, let's do a quick introduction. So tell me a little bit about yourself, and then we'll talk about SHOC.
Okay. I am the SHOC advisor, and SHOC is a group in the high school that's been there for quite some time. And I've been SHOC advisor, this will be my 7th year.
And what do you teach normally?
I'm a licensed chemical dependency counselor. Okay. So I work in the district as the chemical health specialist, and I travel around. I move around different buildings, and it's been a great experience. I get to wear a lot of hats and work with a lot of different kids.
Good. Do you like hats? So it works out nice.
Well, I used to wear a lot of hats, but yeah, it's been a very different experience than working more in a hospital setting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay, I'm Michala White. I am a senior at the Owatonna High School. I'm an officer for SHOC, and I'm just involved in a lot with SHOC and just the Owatonna High School.
What made you, Michala, decide to be a part, because you've done this, like you said, for 3 years.
Yeah, this is my 3rd year.
What made you decide to be a part of SHOC and then kind of really get involved?
Okay, I wanted to be a part of the younger generation, and then once I got into SHOC, I realized what all they did, and then I started doing those things little by little, and then I really enjoyed it.
Give us an example of some of the things SHOC does.
They do teen nights. So that's with the junior high. They do Creeker nights, which we usually let the 9th graders do since they can't do the teen nights. Those are on once a month or once a trimester at Willow Creek. And then we do 5th grade classroom visits in the spring. Mm-hmm. And we have Red Ribbon Week coming up in 2 weeks. And we do little things throughout the year as well.
So it's kind of a social club in a way where you really get to know the people who are part of it.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. How do you get people involved? Let's talk with you a little bit about that. Sandy, how do you get students to be involved in something where like, well, that's not a problem with me, I don't need to worry about that?
Yeah. SHOC, it's comprised of dozens of kids really in the high school, and like student council, it's really kids that tend to be leaders. Like Michala mentioned, kids that are in a lot of activities and really want to make a difference. SHOC stands for Students Helping Others Choose. So it's not a group about judging other kids, or it's really a group of high school kids who we do a lot of different projects and activities throughout the year, but wanting to empower, especially younger kids. We do a lot of work in the elementary schools and with the junior high kids, just promoting, educating, making healthy choices, and having fun. Mm-hmm. So whatever the SHOC kids go and do with the younger kids, it's always a good time. And the younger kids really do look up to them, and they love having them come and visit. So you mentioned the classroom visits. Those are a huge portion of what we do. About February we'll start planning, but we go into the elementary schools a couple of times, each of them. And do some drug education, give kids information, of course, but also talking a lot about friendship, talking a lot about what do you like to do for fun, what kinds of activities, and you get to decide. You get to decide who your friends are. Who your friends are now, it's going to tend to go through the high school years, so making good decisions. And again, it's not about making judgments of people. There's a lot of great people who struggle with chemical health kinds of issues. But just getting to the younger ages, we know that kids like to listen to other kids. They don't necessarily want to hear from the teachers as much as they want to hear from their older peers. And we do some role modeling or role playing where SHOC goes into the elementary schools as part of those visits, and they'll do skits with the kids. You know, it's not about just saying no, it's how do you do that? How do you, and it's all sorts of things, issues with friendships, things that can come up, but how do you get out of a jam? How would you do that? So working with the kids.
The tools now
yes.
that they may not, hopefully, especially in 5th grade, they're not dealing with, but they might be actually. There are some issues with that no matter what age you're at.
And I've had the teachers say after the fact, you know, my class, they're really using those no skills or how to do those things in the classroom.
So even something that's
with
not
each
even
other.
Related to that.
Yeah.
Michala, so you've been doing this for 3 years.
Yes.
How have you seen it impact your life being a part of SHOC?
How have I seen an impact? I've become a lot happier of a person. I would say I've made a lot of friends through SHOC, and I know we kind of like push each other forward, and because I know there's a lot of things that go on in the high school, and there's a lot of pressure to do things, and we're just kind of there for each other. And I know that some of the freshmen text us officers. I know the new freshmen text a lot of us, and we give them advice about anything. Like, it's not even related with drugs or alcohol. It's just life things, and you know, we're kind of like a family in that way.
Do you find yourself using some of the terminology you're teaching those 5th graders sometimes when you're in situations like that?
Yes, I do the whole I don't want to, and the whole walking away thing. That's a big thing that I use, and you know, you can use that your whole life.
Yeah, yeah. So tell me a little bit about Red Ribbon
tongue
Week.
twister.
It is. It's Red Ribbon Week. Red Ribbon Week. You get that all the time, I'm sure.
No, we do that. We do the same thing. So you're good.
It's impossible not to.
Yeah.
So what is this about actually? What is the Red Ribbon Week about? You tell me. Yeah, you tell me, Sandy, and then you tell me about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sound good? Okay.
Red Ribbon Week is a national annual drug prevention celebration. So this is an event that will be happening all around the country. We'll be celebrating Red Ribbon Week, October 27th through November 2nd. There'll be red everywhere, the high school, the younger kids. It's just throughout our schools and community. And there's a lot of support that we get in our community for that event.
What is it for? What is your main goal through that week?
Very good question. The main goal is obviously education, promotion, empowering, healthy choices. You know, the younger that you can work with kids, educate kids, and support families, the incidence of substance abuse lowers. So that's the idea behind it. Is we really do a lot of work that week with the younger grades.
So what activities will you be doing, Michala?
Okay, so yes, I can talk about that. That Monday night, we have the kickoff. I think it starts at 5:30.
Where will it be at?
It's going to be at Central Park.
Okay.
And we do a lot of fun things with the kids. I know Kiwanis provides food, and we that's where we go and say the 4th grade poster winners, because we have a poster contest for Red Ribbon Week.
So you had the 4th graders kind of give some ideas?
Yeah, posters, and they drew little posters, and I know SHOC gets together, and we choose 2 from each classroom, and we have a pizza party with them down at Morehouse Park.
With the winners?
Yep, and they get to miss school for that, so that's a fun
Yay.
thing. Yeah, I know. I know.
Anytime you can miss
They're just
schools.
like, I gotta win. I gotta win. And they get free pizza too, so they're totally all for that.
That is great.
Yeah. And so we announced the 4th grade poster winners, and we play games with them. We have face painting, we have like yard games there, and I know we have tables set up for parents, like information tables, and we have pamphlets and everything as well. I know I've sat at that a couple times each year.
Are the parents, when you sit at that table, are they open to asking you questions? Or are they just kind of like, thank you, I don't know what to do right now?
Sometimes they kind of just want to know what SHOC does and that kind of thing.
Okay, so you're able just to kind of give more information about it. How many
The event is the 27th, so it's a Monday evening in Central Park. We call it the kickoff every year. We'll have the Steele County Safe and Drug-Free Coalition down there. SHOC, of course, will be down there. We have law enforcement doing some demonstrations. We'll have face painting, tons of games, and like Michala mentioned, one of our partners is the local Noon Kiwanis, and they provide free food and root beer. It's a great night for your family to come down and just celebrate, you know, our community.
How many students are in part of the SHOC program?
This year we have, I want to say, about 70.
Wow. And that's junior high? Through high school or just high school?
High school.
Wow.
The junior high and Willow Creek, at that age, they have what's called Y-SHOC.
Okay.
Yep.
So if someone's watching today and they'd like to know more information about how to get either someone they know or even more information about drugs and how to talk to teens about it, how do they get that?
They could contact me at the high school. And as far as recruitment for SHOC, that's something that we do in the spring of every year. So if you know kids, your own children, anybody that would be interested in being a part of the group, It's in the springtime, about April, where we start taking applications and kids that want to get involved for the next
Sounds
school
like
year.
a fun time too. There's no reason why you want to be a part of it.
It's so much fun.
Thank you guys so much for your
Thank
time.
you.
Yeah, it was a pleasure meeting you. And we'll be right back. Please stay with us.
Hi, Warren Abraham Consulting Technologies, your one-stop technology shop. We support the Owatonna Today Show.
Owatonna Public Utilities, real people, real reliable, real progress.
Making life a little easier day after day. Taking pride in our community, listening to what you say. A voice you can talk to. We're growing with you. With you in mind in everything we do.
Owatonna Public Utilities.
And it's time for a look at your community service announcements. In an effort to improve local literacy rates and inspire children to read, Southern Minnesota Initiative Foundation teamed up with Scholastic Book Fairs and Roosevelt Community School to build a reading oasis room right in the Roosevelt Community School. SMIF members of the Owatonna Kiwanis Club, Roosevelt Community Schools, early childhood staff, and community volunteers painted walls, decorated the room, and put together new furniture to create an ideal reading environment. SMIF worked with Scholastic Book Fairs to fill the shelves with 1,200 books in the reading room. The Reading Oasis Room will be a community gathering place. Teachers from Roosevelt Community Schools' early childhood programs will facilitate discussions to help feed students' curiosity and grow their interest in reading. Starting October 1st at Brook Tree Golf Course, it's Buck a Hole and a patio with a fire pit. Head on out to Brook Tree Golf for golf or food or both. You can call for a tea time at 444-2467. The special does begin October 1st. They're creepy and they're kooky, mysterious and spooky. Come join Riverbend Nature Center's naturalists to learn about scary creatures just in time for Halloween. The animal world is full of predators and nightmarish, creepy crawlies, but there are a few frightening creatures that do not deserve such a fearsome reputation. Come meet and learn about snakes, spiders, and lizards, as well as salamanders. The event is October 16th from 5 to 6. The cost is $5 or $3 for Riverbend members. Pre-registration is desired. And the Steele County Historical Society would like you to join them for their fall trip, October 22nd. It is going to be a great trip to Four Daughters Winery, as well as lunch, tours, $60 per person, and includes transportation, all meals, fees, gratuities, and a snack. Call 451-1420 for more information. Thank you so much for joining us right here on the Owatonna Today Show. We're going to be back on Monday when we're going to meet with LTO and talk to them about their upcoming play as When We Are Married. And then also Steele County Public Health will be here to talk about some issues. So see you then. Please have a great and glorious weekend.